All right, y'all. So once again, I was scrolling on Facebook and I came across this video. And basically, this woman was asking this black man, has his sexuality or other things been questioned about him just because he doesn't fit the norm or the stereotype of a so-called black man. Now, y'all, I want y'all to understand this. Just because you are different, you know who you are. That doesn't mean that you have to subside or agree with what other people say about you. When you understand who you are, you're confident who you are as a person, doesn't matter what other people say. Only thing that matters is what the Most High says. Okay? But he's going to mention on how some so-called black women will always try to use shaming tactics, insults, guilt, things like that towards a black man because they aren't the typical black man. All right. When you know who you are as a person or as a man, you will carry yourself as such. Man of respect, dignity, and honor. When you have those things, some people that grow up in dysfunctionality, excuse me, they don't know how to approach you. They don't know what to think about you. You're different to them. And if you're the type of person to push somebody to be better than who they are, some people will fold up and not like it. Some folks will see you as, hey, this is somebody I got to keep around. But I want y'all to listen. We're not going to play through the whole video, but I want y'all to listen to some of the things that he says. And then I'm going to come in.
Has your sexuality ever come into question when you didn't act stereotypically masculine or when a woman disagreed with you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think, and even, and the answer to both, like, because there's kind of two questions there.
Yeah,
there's
for sure.
Didn't fit and then the disagree. Yeah. Didn't fit, yes. Disagree, also yes. And I actually had this conversation from less than 48 hours ago, and we were talking about how the black male masculinity is the most fragile thing in America. Like literally the most fragile thing in America, because if you don't fit into the mold of and typically the mold is street. Okay. The mold for black men is street. Hood. Give you an example. Yeah. If you're in the mall and a white man walks past you with a suit on, you don't think anything of it. If you're in the mall and a black man walks past you with a suit on, why does he have a suit on? Like, what's wrong with a black man wearing a suit? You understand what I'm saying? So not being street as a black man is already raises an eyebrow. Like, why are you not street? You're not black enough. So I definitely I live in Baltimore, and I definitely don't dress like the dudes in Baltimore. I don't talk street. I never try to, be a street person. Like, that's far from who I am. So,
and kudos to this young man for knowing who he is as a person. Because most people that grow up in the city, they see the typical things that social media is talking about, because a lot of people, I've noticed this. I didn't grow up in the city. I live in a city now, and I've been to multiple cities around the country, things like that. When you start going to these cities and you're from the country, you start to realize a lot of things. A lot of these folks act alike, and their character is weak, it's fragile. They don't know who they are. Their foundation is weak because it's based upon something that is not them. Because people want to fit in. Brothers, you're not meant to fit in with everybody. You're not. And that's fine. You don't need an entire crowd with you. You get you, man, 1, 2, maybe 3 brothers that you could trust, and you roll with that. All right? Everybody, it's a lot of people that are so concerned about having friends to go out with, travel with. You don't need that many. All right? 2 or 3 is just fine enough. And make sure these are the type of people that want to see the best for you.
absolutely. Like, like that's common for me. And as far as black men being question, if he doesn't agree, I think look at any black man who's ever said anything that black women didn't agree with. If it wasn't stay out of black women's conversations, if you want to be a black woman, just say that. Or he secretly like men because why is he talking? Like, you have to be gay. You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
that's always the go-to.
It's always the go-to. Like, the black male masculinity is the most fragile thing in America. Black women will throw that card out so fast because they feel it's the most offensive thing they can call a straight black man.
Shaming and insults is most women's go-to. But for some reason, most black women feel like, and I say most, it is not all, but a woman that intentionally tries to hurt you or to go to and say the most insulting shit that she can come up with to you, that's not a woman of peace. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some men that are attracted to chaos. And there are a lot of women that are involved in chaos. That's how they feel relevant in life. Listen, brothers, don't be involved with those type of women. All right. A woman that's willing to say something as disrespectful as, oh, you're gay, or as you're, just to talk bad about you. That's not the type of woman you need to be around. All right. You need to dismiss her from your life and keep it pushing. It's all right to take an L. You're going to take more L's in life anyway. All right. Take the L and move on.
Is gay. Like, if there's nothing that can hit harder than that. So if I
Let's
call
talk
you gay,
about that then.
it's gonna.
How does that make you feel? Because I'm sure you've experienced that before.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
every black man probably has. How does that make you feel? For the black women.
And then, too, for all these women that got gay friends, what type of insult is that? To try to shame a dude for him being himself and he's not who you're used to be or who you're used to dealing with, and for you to call them gay as an insult, how does that look to your gay friends?
Been listening.
How does that make me personally feel?
How did that make you feel? When you experienced
I'm
it?
so high on who I am that, okay, let me give you, I actually have a perfect story for this, right? I walk into a strip club with one of my friends, one of my homeboys, right? He's fresh off of work. He works in DC, corporate job. So he's like in tie, slacks, whatever. He's like in corporate work attire. So we're going to a strip club, we're chilling, like, we're not being rowdy. Like, it's a bunch of hood people in the strip club as well. We're not being rowdy, we chilling, we, kicking the shit, drinking, just being calm. He tries to, like, do what niggas do at strip clubs. Like, he talking to this stripper, like, kicking his worst game ever. And so she goes, "Oh, y'all not together?" And he's like, "Yeah, we came here together." Like, "What you mean?" She's like, "Nah, like, I thought y'all were, like, together, like gay."
Did she give you a reason?
Well, okay, look, I'm gonna stop it right here for a sec. I mean, I can understand if he went in there with the man bun, you know what I'm saying? I understand brother has a lot of hair, things like that. And then the tone of his voice, it's a certain pitch that needs to be coming from a man. We know how that the voice is of some gay men, it comes off as soft and things like that. But that's the thing though. A lot of people have their perceptions of you because they're used to those type of men coming up to them and talking to them, try to spit game, hearing a typical thing every night, like every single dude is saying the same thing. A lot of these women are becoming numb to the same rhetoric. All right. When they meet a man that's different, some women just don't know how to respond.
I'm getting to that. So he goes, "Man, hell no." So he goes, "No, but out of curiosity, like, why would you even," you know what I'm saying? So, no bullshit. This is what she said. She said, "Well, you in here, you dress like," you know what I'm saying, "like you got a good job. And then you're not talking to me like with a lot of slang and stuff." So he's like, "That can't be it." So her follow-up question was, do you got any kids? He was like, nah. She was like, oh, you got to be gay. And mind you, I'm not in the conversation, but I'm eavesdropping because I want to hear it. Like, I want to hear what's going on. And she literally says, you got a good job. You don't got no kids out of marriage. And what was the last thing she said? Oh, like, yeah, you're dressed like in like corporate whatever attire. She like, something got to be wrong with you.
That's a woman that grew up in dysfunctionality, y'all. That is a woman that has been surrounded by men that have kids from other marriages or relationships, or hell, just a little shorty he was messing around with. All right. That type of thing. Some women, when they deal with that 3, 4, 5 times, for some reason they feel like that's the majority. When in actuality, well over half of the black men in America don't even have kids. All right. Now, if you're dealing with I'm talking to the men here. Men, look, first off, you don't need to have a child until you're married with this woman. Quit doing things out of order. You can only blame the woman for so much. All right. And just to speak on some of the women, ladies, you can't be opening up your legs and then this man isn't even committed to you. Yeah, you want to have your fun, but look, let's be real about it. You have to deal with those consequences. Having a baby and things like that, dealing with the ridicule. But honestly, there's not much shame coming to some of these women though for having kids either. We need to bring back shame. To be honest with you, knowing the scrutiny you're going to have to deal with, at least will make you second guess it, your decisions.
Yo, and he got so upset.
On both sides. Because there's too many women out here having kids before marriage, and there's too many men out here having sex with multiple women and not taking care of any of these kids. A child grows up better in a 2-parent household. But let's be real, most of us was accidents.
And I looked at him, I said, bro, you got to understand, it's not even her fault. Like, she's conditioned to feel like there's only one way a black man can be.
A straight black man.
Yeah, there's only one way a straight black man can be. And I was like, bro, you can't even, because I've heard it more than once. So at some point, something my sister said to me, registered, like, you don't get mad at somebody who's mentally challenged for showing that they're mentally challenged. Like,
Yeah, that woman doesn't seem like she's the brightest. And I don't know the woman like that, but just from that comment, it's one thing to draw a conclusion, but with that small amount of information, you can't say that to every man. You know what I'm saying? If she could have been talking to a brother that did not know how to control his temper or his anger, and she could have been slammed through a table. Some brothers just are unstable. All right.
they can't help themselves. And I was like, yo, you can't get mad at him, mad at her for thinking this, because she's conditioned to think this. Like, she doesn't know any better. This is all she sees, is what she's been taught. She was a blank canvas when she came into this world. This is the information that was fed into her. So it's not really her fault. Now, hopefully at some point in life, she'll leave her little neighborhood and she'll see more. And she'll realize that black men are not a monolith. You understand what I'm saying? But yeah, like, black men get called everything, gay and everything, for just not being, this mode of black male masculinity.
All right. But I said we weren't gonna watch the whole video, but we did. Y'all go check out the channel that they have. You can see the link up there. Go check them out. But in all honesty, listen, brothers, understand who you are. So when you have a chick that comes up to you and try to talk that cash money, like she knows who you are as a man, and then understands your plight as a black man, understand this. Her opinion has no weight to you. She's not your woman, so her opinion should have no weight to you. All right? Protect yourself. And then I hope that that young lady does get outside of her community, outside of her neighborhood. I don't listen to anybody that has not traveled. All right, that has never been outside of the country, that hasn't been outside of their city, their block, their state, hasn't been to the other side of the country, met different types of people. This is why whenever I do talk about certain groups of people, I try to be very specific about the people that I'm talking about. Like when I mention most black women, I try to mention if I want to talk about the American black woman, I'll talk about the westernized black woman. All right. Because it's different dynamics in the East, like women that are from Africa, women that are from Europe, things like that. I'll touch on that in another video, but I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.